Project Restoration Job out 23 in Hoods. Take a stroll with me down the buggy country road. And let's see what we can find. We're going to finish up on sales techniques and the art and philosophy of selling. And we were using timeshare as an example. We were talking about establishing through a discovery. We call them bullets of asking questions, third level questions. And hitting them at hello, that's when they first meet you, vibe is high. And then simply after your discovery, you connect with mutuality, commonality. And basically from there, do some information confirmation to show people that you're paying attention. 58% of your body language and your tone, 38, and your words. Let them be like level 3 questions. How do you mean? Why is that? How does it make you feel? Things like that. Because if you don't get into what a person likes, you got no premise to operate. Objections that come throwing up either along the trail or in the trail. So along the trail and along the path in the art of philosophy of selling, you'll be doing tie downs. You'll be checking the door to make sure that trust, the first door, is shut twice. The first door is actually do they like you, so the second door. And then after that, as you move along the process and you begin, all during the sales tour, you'll be keeping the guarantee of satisfaction. And that is the deal of trust with many competing companies that the trust, the guarantee, the 100% back. How do you match that? How do your company or idea match that? What about that? I'm banging with the angel in the back. How you like that? Check that. Anyway, sales. Get back to sales, right? Okay, so you did your discovery. You have your bullets. Everything is ready and armed, cocked. You have the genuine interest because you're servicing. You're not one of the crabs crawling out of the barrel. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to bring the best out of the worst of people. Get on YouTube, find them books I read 110 times. Dale Carnegie. Anyway, and I had the opportunity to ride on tracks with top producers, 250, 750 figures. And it allowed me to film words and everything they do. Now, you got to come up with your own thing. For them that's been in sales, you know that. Tailor-made, your thing. I like the Carnegie style with all the different styles and philosophies, RCI and all the rest in sales. And the reason why we use timeshare is because that's the hardest one. How do you get two people to buy something that swore they wouldn't? It's a mystery. Maybe it's in the mystery of Babylon. But whatever it is, you're going to render to Caesar the things that are Caesar. If you're going to play the capitalist game, so-called, to take care of your people, so-called, then you better know how the art or philosophy of engaging, making friends, swab it, long term. Remember, they didn't pick Charles Schwab because he was so much of a better engineer for U.S. Steel. It was because he hit them hard at hello. If you're going to hit them, one of my buddies got a song, that's shout out. Yeah, and the general. Yeah, if you're going to hit them hard at hello. You got to have life flowing through you. You have to have, your vibe better be up. You're intense. You bringing life changing, you bringing energy that created worlds. And what I mean by that, you're floating in the principles of universal laws and principles like the oil of joy, and your piece is intact. You know, you on higher vibe, you step in there. Forget the art. Sometimes you might just listen your way and they still like your product because they love you. You can't rock them in 90 minutes. Up in Vegas, they get rid of you real fast. Okay? You have to rock people. If you're going to make big money, then it's in commissions. In commissions, it's branding, your name, whether it be real estate or whatever it be, your product. But think of things that attach itself to worldwide West Side ideologies. Simply put, as in hood talk, can it go worldwide? And does it meet the law of scarcity? And does it have a supply and demand that would want that? And it doesn't have a commonality on general principles of a need, want, and desire that people have. It's all about people. You can't sell them nothing they don't want. So we're going into, we did the discovery, hit them at hello, did the information confirmation, repeating back things that were important to them. And if you had a whole family, you better have them all right there, knowing exactly what their needs, wants, and desires. Hopefully they didn't stroke you and yes you, and they sold you. You should know their needs, wants. That's a true discovery. It's getting people to tell them about what's important to them. It's the opposite of YouTube, so to speak. All the things you see that talk, right? And all it is gossip and whispering and backbiting. Far from that's the crab crawling out of the barrel mentality. Do you know how much of that imagery and how powerful, you talking about demons and getting them through TVs? No, I'm just saying. Bottom line, man, no, it's all about the other person. Most of us are self-centered, so that's cool. You know, you got to be self-centered. You got to love yourself, but you got to love the tribe and the family even harder. Because every tree pours into the collective force. Without that, with crabs crawling out of the barrel, we'll suck up everything, not get back to the forest, the birds don't eat, and everything dies. Individuality doesn't sustain you. It's the law of one that collects you, that points you, connects you to the collective, then you mature. The fathers lay up for the children, not the children for the fathers. If you want to be a man, masculine, and a woman, and her feminine, and whatever else you got in business, it don't matter. It's principles in philosophy in which you work with in relationships at your best as an ambassador or diplomat for your company or who your brand, your own, your thing, whatever you do. Bottom line is, again, you did a proper discovery and you connected. Commonality could be anything from football games to whatever, sewing. It doesn't matter. McDonald's, I don't know. Know what the kid likes. That's what you better know. Bottom line, along this line now, you got to make sure everyone is in the picture. If everyone is not in that picture, the one that's not in the picture, he will have the objection to your product. Even though you know, if you can service these people with their product, if your heart is right, since you got to deal and render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, you're going to play with Rome and hit the Babel and put a spell out there, sort of with wizardry and philosophies of how to, at the end of the night, get your money. Because that's what you're engaging in. After your discovery, it's no magic that you said I wasn't buying, but you bought. No, it's an art. So that's why I decided to do this video, the art of sales, the philosophies. It cost me a lot. I rolled along many people and got their input, so I'm giving this out for free. This is free coaching and Carnegie-like style, but you want to hear some Charles Schwab, your name. It's your name, not the company's name. You and your name. I will refer you over to this guy. Right, that one. Dude, if you're an introvert, you better become an outrovert. And if you are a person that gossip, sniper, grenade, going off and, and things like that, you got to get rid of all of that. You got to have self-control over those emotions. People will pick up your vibe. And not only that, you got to understand the personality types. Who's in front of you? Is it a millennial? Is it a baby boomer? Is it a Generation X? You better know and have a pitch for your product concerning each one, or create your product for each one addressing those particular issues to maximize honeyfold. If you want to hit what you saw on the honey, you hit every generation and every person, and you better know a lot about what is current. How do they think? Do you spend time with them? Have you picked your grandchildren's brain or your children's brain? How do they think? How are they built? You know, why do they need yours today? How would you sell a millennial and the millennial is in front of you, But the bottom line, he don't need to buy it today. Why he need to buy it today? Where are your urgency screaming all during your pitch? Not like smelling salesy, but just the fact a little dangle of the carrot a little bit. And a little salt right here, a little salt right here, urgent. Everyone is doing it, but everyone is not qualified. Takeaways. Those are called takeaways, tie downs. So if you own this, how would you use it? Yeah, that's a tie down to see what you got. Now, when what you offer is not correct, all right? If your answer is not correct when they ask you a question, it's going to get you in the weeds. And you'll lose your way. And you'll go way over there on something, and you never stayed on the path to answer the true objection or ever get it out. They stroke you with yes, 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 yes along the path of your presentation. And when they stroke you, yes, 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 they solved you. And if you got no nose, so what do you think about the bad things that can happen? Maybe that's too strong a word. Maybe you'll say, so if there was any concerns, what would be your major concern today? Something like that. You have to stop along the way of your sales tour, and you or your pitch or your create whatever you're going to create, and you have to stop right here. It's called switching the hat and getting them real. Right here, I have to switch over. Bam. I was Mr. Nice Guy, but now I must be iron steel, ready to run San Quentin. Why? Because here you want to get the true objection out before you go any further. Yes, 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 yes. Your product's good. Yes, yes, that's a good idea. All of that. But right here, if you don't switch that hat and get them real and become like an Alcatraz running personality type, like a prosecuting lawyer right there. So why wouldn't you use this today? Why wouldn't you do this today? So, hey, we've been real all this time. What's other than money? What would stop you from doing something like this today? You ever been asked that question? You know, is there any concerns that I could address right here, right now? Are you guys going to do this today? Take it from them. Say, I don't think you're going to do this today. It's not for everybody. Take it back, man. Don't put it all out there. You look like a crab crawling out of a barrel. You got to let them see that you have some kind of presidential diplomatic character going here. And this is not for everybody. And you might have to pull everything off that table right there. This is not for everybody as you're packing it, but not taking it away all totally. This is for people that you should know they hot buttons. You should know they're hot buttons. If they're not all in that picture along the way that you painted about your product and its benefit, tying it to their needs, wants, and desires, it's going to get ugly. And when it gets ugly, that means you're going to keep going like this. But when you poops fall down, your true objection, it get out at the table or it get out at the manager of the bank or the one that's going to finance. And they have to answer your objections. You didn't do your job. Now, it's just that way. You're either in the flow of the art of those principles, praise, gratitude, and appreciation for the person being a genuine, real one. And when you have that vibe, people will at least respect you as a human being and not some call that they get every 5 minutes of give me some money, give me some money, some money. And your product should not be trappy, catchy, failure to disclose, to conceive. Look up the definition of money. Come on, man. You have to get real. In order to get them real, you got to be real. You better know every detail of that product. Because when you get here and ask them the true objection, if you don't know the answer to that objection, please shut your mouth and say, I understand. Take it away and say, you know, it's not for everybody. I wish I could help you, and shut your crap down unless you know in detail that product. Because you'll get in the weeds and then you don't know, then the trust is broken that you started at the front. Remember, trust door. Remember why you. Remember why then the company, because it's all about you and your swag. So then if you built the trust and you don't know the answer to the question along your pitch, whatever that product is, then you're stuck in the weeds, dude. And when you're over there, man, you're going to you might lie and get the company sued, your own company. Check game, man. No. If you don't know something, say, I don't know that, but I'll ask about that when we finish this, whatever your pitch is. Let me get back to you about something. You don't have to know it all. You just have to be real. They'll buy realness from your vibe. And your company has to, as they close it, in their closing, they do all the details, the contractors or whatever, the thing going down, and make sure everybody, all parties are satisfied. More importantly, they ought to be elated that they met you and you changed and rocked their life. If that's not the case, it has nothing to do with color. It has to do with character and understanding the art and philosophy of sales. You're not just babbling. You are leading from the mountaintop. If you got a driver expressive personality in front of you, you might not want to be the driver expressive, even though you might be. Have you practiced taking a back seat? Have you practiced studying to be quiet more? Have you ever heard somebody and asked, well, how do you mean? What do you mean? And then after they say that, you say, well, why is that? And get them into the details how Noah built their ark. Because then you'll have understanding of what they really want. You'll understand what kind of person's in front of you. You know, the amiable personality type, who might be an analytical, right? A passive analytical might be the one with the key to close the whole deal, and you selling the man. You got to find from the beginning of that thing, who's the closer? You know, who is the real closer? The one that closed the deal on the objection that you didn't get out way back here. You didn't hear that. You thought that one was easy to sell, but that was the one with the purse or with the wallet. I don't think we're going to do this today, but you didn't find that out. They didn't like you. Like this baby. Can you get a baby to like you? That's the hard part. If the baby don't like you, they ain't buying nothing. Right? If you can't sell a baby, your vibe is messed up. Get out of commission sales. And I'm talking like this because it is a ruthless machine. You're dealing with a machine. But the money is there. But if this helps you after discovery, you got to make sure everyone's in the picture. And if everyone's in the picture, and you do your trial closes to see in temperature checks where you are in that sales presentation, you want to go past the sale and keep talking, and they already done bought and throwing the credit card. Well, now, no. And you keep talking and talking right out of it, that one. Because their like, needs, and wants and desires, not yours and what you want to project, but theirs, was you had a genuine interest, you heard them. You listened, you asked questions, you went third level listening, you really had self-control over your emotions, you were diplomatic, seasoned like a presidential thing with kings. Listen to what I'm saying. Higher level, high vibe thinking. Once they're in the picture, you did your trial closes and tie downs. But guess what? You could either turn it over to the court, to your, or if you're the CEO, you could close it. But also kick some benefits up to keep ether going. As far as don't put all the benefits on the table at first. Don't put them all down. Hold back some of the benefits for the end of the close, so that way the ether keeps dropping in the midbrain. It shifted from the reptilian side where people are protective like a turtle. When they first meet you, I'm not buying nothing. And then they shift to the midbrain with satisfaction because their needs, wants, and desires are even heard. And then they decide for themselves, you can't sell them nothing. That thing fits their life. And through the ether of the midbrain, closing with logic as you cross the numbers, you guys arrive at a mutual agreement. And it's a give and take. The law of reciprocity is in full operation. And the principles of praise, appreciation, gratitude should be the ether on the table. And they should love you forever. Swab it. Go all the way in. Long term, baby, long term. It wasn't because Charles Schwab was a good engineer. It was just because his relations are hitting him at hello with a great smile on his face. Now, this is what I got to share just a little bit. We're going to be talking more about it, you know. And, you know, you want to talk about flexibilities of your product. Is it matching the times? If it's a baby boomer in front of you, maybe they don't care, you know, about the thing you're trying to pitch. But if you could tie the benefit of what you have and how it's making someone else happy in that family and give him more peace. Stay general. Stay general. More peace in his life. You could have them all in the picture and logically close based on each one's needs, wants, and desires. Leave no one out, y'all, before you turn the table or before you close it yourself. God bless you. I hope you are not crabs out of a barrel crawling. I hope you get some spirit and service, because the greatest among us is the servant. God bless you. Jeremiah 23 and Hood.